starting the show, making a live show, seeing if it works. Am I still choppy?
You were when you were talking, but now you're better.
Chip. It does. It gets a little choppy, like right when it's like trying to go live and make the thing go to the space and the weird and the out there. Let me do this. I gotta start the radio show up. Let's make a live show, everybody. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Holy shit. Look at this guy. Look at all these guys.
Hey.
Look at this going on. We got double guy coming in. We got Chad Murray jumping in. Not just apparently Chad bailed on his coaching client today or something. Ben, Big Buck Killer Ben, is out in a tree stand. I don't know. How loud am I right now? Do you have earbuds in, Ben, or what's going on?
Nah, man. I'm out here for the scenic view. That's the main thing.
You look good, though. Good face paint job, dude.
I put that on for the camera, I'll be honest.
Way to go.
My favorite thing is Dan's best friend.
You gave me more options this time to write things.
Yeah, way to go. Way to use all of your spaces.
Yeah.
You better be
There's
quiet.
all the deer.
Voice.
All the deer have left.
I bet they have.
Hey, Dan.
You're hunting. You're doing a really bad job of hunting right now, Ben.
Hold on. Oh, how do I turn the camera on so you guys can? I got to turn. Ooh.
Oh yeah, look at that. That is beautiful out there. Beauty. Good job.
On my walk in, I saw 0 deer tracks in the snow. That's one thing that's fun about snow.
How many wolf tracks did you see?
I don't know, dude. There looks to be some small footprints of like a human, but I don't understand where they were going or why.
Yeah, made it really lost. Super.
I think it was a mini Sasquatch.
Mm-hmm. It's like when I was in Kentucky, and we were just way back in the middle of public land, and there was like these tiny boot tracks, and I was like, "What was a child doing, going way back in here? Like, I'm afraid of being back here in the dark. What was a 10-year-old doing back here?"
Yeah, dude, that's exactly what I got up here too. So, but I thought I'd just come say hi before.
They're probably just badass dudes.
Yeah, with little feet. They're fast. All right, you guys have fun. I'm out of here.
Go kill something.
Bye, Ben.
Yeah, that's the plan. See you guys.
Get him. Chad Murray. Where you? Oh, you're I can't hear you at all. You look cool, but I can't hear you at all. He's gonna leave and he's gonna come back. I gotta do this thing. Oh, hey, everybody, welcome to Home Service Happy Hour. I'm Dan Plata. Brought to you by Best Damn Bookkeeping, because that's my show, or that's my company, and this is my show. And those two things in whatever order makes the most sense to you. I got to open something, but this is my month stretch where I don't drink alcohol. So this is an ale. It's just a ginger one. What are you drinking, Corey? That looks like a little old fashioned action, maybe a little old fashioned.
Yeah, I mean, you were giving me a bunch of crap for not getting on the show for a long time because I've been busy, trying to get after my clients to get me information, things like that.
I bet. I know how
okay.
it goes.
And
now we got Chad.
Yeah, you do. So, but I hadn't been on for a while, so I figured what better way to rejuvenate, the entire happy hour process than to do it with an old fashioned. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, Dan. As I was telling you right before we went live, part of the reason I'm having this old fashioned is because of the rant that happened on Facebook last night. That is now going to be an in-person meeting this evening. I'm not even kidding. The timing of this was
interesting.
So fantastic. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it worked out. It's the 2 birds, 1 stone sort of thing. And I bitch a lot about social media, but I'm not so naive as to blank on the realization that I'm literally here like putting this content out on social media. So like I want to address the good and bad sides of it. But I had an interaction over the weekend that made me delete an app off of my phone because I was just like, what a waste of fucking time. Which I have a lot of internal conflict with even that part of it. But first, Chad Murray, how the hell are you doing, man?
Look at you. my client no showed on me today with an excuse, so I'm like, fuck, I got to get on Dan's show, man.
Look at this. It's all coming together. Coming together.
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good, and so
beauty.
My chimney company is killing it. I've got guys selling. We're selling over 100 125,000 a week with guys that didn't know what a fireplace was at the 4th of July.
There you
So
go.
my
That's
training program and my coaching is fucking killing it. I got a couple new coaching clients. One of them took me 3 months and already doubled their profits.
Oh, hell yeah.
I sold my cabin.
You sold the
and
cabin?
my property, and I kept a couple acres to rebuild on. I got an offer I just couldn't refuse.
No shit.
Buku bucks. Well, we also hunt next. I've got what is it, like 75,000 acres next to me. It's all Oklahoma that I can hunt for like $80 a year.
Oh,
And
yeah. So
more big bucks are coming off that property than coming
Yeah.
over to mine. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I can bank them on $400,000 right now,
yeah,
cash,
and still go
rebuild the
big
cabin
bucks.
for $100,000 and make it better. All the mistakes I made on the first one, make this one better, and then I'll still have one stand on my property, and I can go hunt the state reservoir. So
Yeah. Heck
I'm
yeah.
happy.
Yeah,
I'm
you got it
stupid
all.
happy.
You got it all, man.
So
I dig it.
yeah.
That's
thanks
awesome.
I am jonesing
That's
on
awesome.
hunting this year, though. I haven't hunted this year, so I
Oh,
am
that was
jonesing.
my
a
next
little bit.
question for you. I'm like wrapping up hunting. We're switching to ice fishing up here. I got Ben's out in the woods right now, obviously, and not this weekend, but the next weekend we have like our deer processing get together. I've already shot 7 deer. I got 7 deer down. So and I think we need, between he and I and our buddy Aaron, we figure we need like 1 more. We could do it 2 more because we're making jerky this year. We're like slicing steaks and we're making like whole muscle jerky, and that's gonna. Part of me is like, now when I see a deer running through the woods, I'm like, there's 25 pounds of jerky. Like, get them.
Right.
But yeah, we've been putting them down. But I want to get into the social media thing. I'm afraid, like I said, I kind of struggle with how to address this because I feel like a damn hypocrite. I'm sitting here taking advantage of social media to deliver a message, have some fun, right? Talk shop with other business owners. So I'm not so naive as to realize like it doesn't have its place. Oh, here we go. I forgot about this. I don't know who was checking. I got to get us up on my Facebook app so I can see who's checking in here, because you guys don't always put your names down. Let me see. Who this? Is it in here? I got like I'm live in a few different places, so I got to figure out where the hell this comment came from. But somebody asked, it's Doug Brown. I figured it was Doug Brown. Doug's gonna call in. I didn't put it in the darn thing. The call-in number. I'm gonna write it now. This is a live radio show, so I got a phone number for us, so you can call in. I don't have the technology to like have it flow through my computer, so I do the sweet thing where it comes through my phone, and then I put the phone up by the microphone, and then everybody else can hear it, because that's super high tech stuff. But if you want to call into the show and complain about social media with us, the number is 952-373-1775. And I'm talking weird because I was typing it into my phone too, and then I made a typo. So 952-373-1775. The phone lines are open, baby. Home service happy hour. Bring it. Who is this? Somebody else checked in, said, I'm trying to get some Jeep backstrap from my wife again. That was Doug again. That was definitely Doug. He's his wife is crushing them deer with that Jeep. But so I have this love-hate with social media. I get that it has a place, but there's so many things that just drive me bonkers about it and waste my time and waste your guys' time. And it's a challenge to try to use it as efficiently as possible. And so it's not that I've never addressed this before, but I've never like went right at it. So in this episode, we're going right at this damn thing. And this is probably going to be a 2-parter, because I can't imagine we're going to wrap this all up and peel all the layers of the onion back on it today. Corey and I both have a story. So shit. And now with Chad on here, like that might be the whole episode. We might not even get to the love and hate of it. We might just be telling stories. We'll see how this goes. But the thing that kind of triggered me was a political nonsensical thing that happened over the weekend. And I already hate talking politics. I really dislike it. I don't have very strong opinions about it besides leave me the fuck alone. Like, that's my opinion about it, is like, I don't want it. I want less of it. I want people to behave themselves and act reasonable and have some laws to create some boundaries. But like, we call ourselves the land of the free for a reason. Like, quit trying to tell me what I can and can't do, and let me be a reasonable human being, right? Let me go pursue my own happiness and create value for other people, and don't try to take all my damn money when I do it, because then what's the point? So anyway, in general, I'm not a hard Republican. I'm not a hard Democrat. I think they're both freaking bonkers. The farther you get away from the center, you all drive me nuts. Like, if you're going to send me an article from Fox News, I'm going to tell you an asshole. And if you send me an article from CNN, I'm going to tell you you're an asshole. I don't want your bullshit propaganda. I can make stories and headlines and data say whatever I want too. So don't send me that bullshit. Think like a human, use your common sense. And this is where I got into it with a dude. I would say, and this, like, to be fair, I would generally, if you had to peg me, which, you know, everybody likes to like peg somebody as like, oh, you're a Republican or you're a Democrat. It must be one or the other, right? I have more Republican tendencies, just in that I'm a business owner and I don't like working really hard and then somebody taking all my money, just in general, right? I think I can add more value than the government can add. I'm 99.9% sure me with $20,000 can do more good than the government can do with my $20,000. And that was where this stemmed from, which was a dude made a post about rich people don't pay their fair share of taxes. And I'm like, okay, there's a lot of shit wrong with that statement, because like I'm pretty sure we have a progressive tax rate system where the more money you make, the more you pay in taxes. And sure, you can look at the net worth of humans and say the wealthy don't pay as much in taxes because they only pay the taxes when they earn the income, right? And there's a lot of vehicles to have income grow tax-free and capital gains taxes and such like that. I don't have a problem with that. I don't mind rich people getting richer with their money. Most of them earned the fuck out of it, right? There's a reason why they made a lot of money. That doesn't mean we should take it all. That doesn't mean they all owe us something, because they probably invented something that made us all better off. They've already all helped us, right? And so this guy was trying to make a point that rich people don't pay enough in taxes. We need to, the Trump tax cuts were bullshit. We need to tax rich people a hell of a lot more. And I said, hey dude, here's a fact. Like, I make $100,000 a year. Those tax cuts have saved me probably 20. I think I said 10 to 20 grand, probably 20 to 30 grand over the last few years. I have started 2 new businesses, and I think that savings allows me to do that, right? Like, me having that 20 grand back in my pocket helps me go create more jobs. And I'm not like pulling my wife's income into this or whatever. I'm just trying to like use generic numbers with this guy. And I'm just like, I don't know, dude. I like W2 wise, I probably made $100,000. Am I rich? Of course not. Like, I'm fine. Am I rich? No. But so you're saying I should pay more in taxes? Well, I'm not rich, but I took that 20 grand and I created a bunch of jobs with it. And so if you took that away from me and took it to the government, you think they're going to do more good than I can do? Fuck no. I'm not saying.
What was his response?
So he went on, he went total commie on me. And this is where I just kind of like lost it. He was like, it's proven that we got into like a big government, small government argument, which was kind of, he did the thing that trolls do online. And this is why I just deleted it, because he's just fucking troll, right? But he ended up steering the argument differently every time I made a point. He would be like, well, the quality of living is better in all these other countries that have bigger governments. I'm like, you're looking at Norway and Sweden, dude. Like, they have, the quality of living is great because they're not involved in anything. Not to discredit them. They're probably great countries and cool if they have a big government or not. But like, I don't see the quality of living in Russia or China or Brazil on here. Like,
hold on a second, Dan. Hold on 1 second. Who is defining the quality
exactly
for that country to be better or worse than any other country?
So then he started,
it's a total opinion. It's bullshit.
Well, so he was sending me articles from news sources, and then he sent me some poverty data, and like the poverty level in the United States is this high, and I'm just like, I mean, this is going to be like a really crude way of saying this, but like, I don't give a shit about that. I care about hardworking people getting what they deserve. I don't believe if people choose to be in poverty, like I believe everybody needs an opportunity. And we need to work our asses off to make sure everybody has an opportunity. But if they choose to not pursue that opportunity, right? And you can talk about systemic challenges that different races and different cities or different ethnicities or religions or genders or whatever, right? Yes, I get that. But we, as a country, we do a pretty damn good job overall of trying to create more and more and more opportunities that try to like level the playing field for everybody. I think that's really fucking important. If you choose to not pursue that opportunity and you want to suck off the system, go ahead and live in poverty.
Well, you're also getting into the impossible definition of happiness.
Oh, super.
You cannot define happiness. There are people out there who are dead fucking poor who are happier than I'll ever be because they love.
I don't know.
You
seem pretty happy when you jumped on today. But
you do seem pretty happy. Yeah, you do.
They're content. They're completely content with their life. I'm not that happy as I perceive. I wish I could be happier, and I work on it every day. But I'll tell you, happiness is where you start getting into the definition of somebody defining someone else's happiness and then trying to defend a way of life. This is where you can never win on either side the fucking argument, because I can't define Dan's happiness. You shot 6 deer. I was over here envious of that, and yet you're calling me the happiest guy as I showed up.
Hey,
I just had envy 5 minutes ago.
7 deer, Chad. I think it's 7.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So
I did see one.
Let me chime in here because
it was little. I shot 2 little ones actually. They're tasty.
So let me chime in here on what the real root of the problem is. And hopefully it'll make you feel better, Dan, because this is what I came to a realization on. And until last night, I hadn't had a social interaction of anything like you and I have dealt with recently in years. And my wife always said, well, you used to be pretty active and talking to people. I said, I figured something out. Keyboard warriors and behind the wheel warriors are the same thing, right? So people live outside of reality, and they need something to give them a real sense of who they want to be, but they're not actually, or who they can take their anger out on, or their sadness out on, or whatever it may be. But what I came to realize was this: when I'm on the road and someone's driving all crazy, if I have road rage and I chase them down, then I'm one of those road warriors. If I get away from the person that's being reckless, then I'm a responsible human being. Right? Same thing on online. If somebody's doing that and they're running in circles and they're just trying to get the attention, you got to try to get away from them. The challenge that we have is this, and I'm sorry, I'm just going to speak bluntly.
Get it?
There are some really dumb fucking people in this society, and I mean like highly educated dumb people. Right. We're not, this isn't putting people into classes of, how much money they make or their education level. We're talking about their ability to be thoughtful, kind, think through scenarios, be realistic, put yourself in other people's shoes. There's so much of our society that can't do that, that's where you get keyboard warriors and road warriors. And they're the exact same thing, by the way, because the other day, this isn't my story. I was driving into Cub and I pulled through a spot in order to have my car facing outward so I could drive out. Right. Didn't see a guy was looking to turn in. If I had seen him, I wouldn't have pulled forward. We were kind of doing it at the same time. And I hit my brakes and he hit his brakes and he just goes, shakes his head and flips me off. Right. Yeah. And I was like, well, my bad. I don't know. I guess I was kind of in the wrong, but you were coming in kind of hot too, whatever. Right. So I parked my car. He's going to park his car. And I'm like, well, we're going into the same store. This should be fun.
Yeah.
So I waited for him. I took my time getting my cart in the grocery store and he walks in. And I said, hey, man, I just wanted to apologize. I wouldn't have pulled through there and had my car out facing if I would have seen you coming. He's like, oh, no. He's like, man, I'll be honest. He's like, I was just shaking my head. He goes, because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to stop in time. And I was like, are you sure?
Yeah.
He's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, because I
that little
finger. He's like, no, I didn't flip you off. I just put my hand up like, oh, sorry. And I was like, no, you didn't. But this is my point. Same thing happened when I was 25 years old. I got into one of those same arguments you're talking about on Facebook, right? And I got the whole, like, if I ever see you in person, then a week later, happened to see the person in person. And I was like, hi, how you doing? Oh, no, hey, man, sorry, I was having a really bad night. I was having a bad night. It's like, man, people need to get down with reality and they need to think about how they want to act and portray themselves. So my point is, This shouldn't be eating you up that bad, because if you really remember what you're dealing with, it's the same as road rage. You got your kids in the car, Dan, and somebody's being all jerk, whatever. You're going to pull off to the side of the road and let that moron go. I'd say same thing.
Yep.
You deleted the app. You're doing the same thing on social media. You just got caught up for a half a second, because it's really hard when someone's trying to talk smart when they have no intelligence level that even compares.
You want to know what really was like the, oh, you're just here to be a piece of shit when I
can't wait.
So I literally, one of my messages back to him, I was like, yo, man, I'm just going to drop it here. Like, I'm guessing you're a good human. And I literally typed this out. I was like, I'm guessing you're a good human, and it's okay that we have differences of opinion here. Like, we're not going to solve anything. If we continue with this back and forth, we're just going to literally drive each other farther away from what either of us would actually want. Right. So let's leave it here. I'm going to continue to believe you're a good human. Just go do something good for somebody. Like, go help society. Right. His reply was literally, I don't know, man. I just spent all this time trying to educate you, so I feel like I did something good. And I'm just like, you're just such a
yeah. Isn't that crazy?
It was just crazy? Like such an arrogant troll. And I was just like, I just got to delete this app. Like, there's nothing good that's going to come from me reading anybody's tweets. There's nothing good.
Well, except for the Packers tweets. Except for the Packers tweets. That is good.
But right. here's now I also believe, right? Like, I'm not super opinionated about political shit. Again, like, just let me work hard, let me create value for people, and then leave me alone. Like, government need it. We need rules, we need laws, we need some boundaries, we need roads, we need schools, there's things that we need that we're all going to share all about it. I don't think much beyond that. The government is very efficient at all. Like, I spent 4 hours on the phone with the IRS already in the last 2 months, and like, that was enough for me. I could have hired an employee to solve any of those things in like 3 seconds. They can't do shit in 4 hours. It's not that employee's fault. The system sucks, right? The governmental system we have is super inefficient. There's no incentive to be efficient, right? They'll just tax us more. They'll just tax us more for their own inefficiency. And I'm not trying to dog on any government employee. There's great government employees out there, just like there's great employees of our businesses out there. And then there's a lot of shitty ones too. We fire them. The government just doesn't fire their shitty ones. They just keep them. I think that'd be super frustrating to like work there and be like one of the good ones, and then just like have a bunch of unmotivated, non-value added people. You just have a bunch of C players hanging out with you.
Dan,
anyway.
how long have we known each other?
25
20 years? 25 years? We've never once had a real
probably like 28. Probably like 28.
Okay.
Years.
We've never once had a real discussion about politics. And it's funny, when you gave your overall perception on politics, if I could somehow go back and get the last time I gave my little 2-minute summary on politics, Dan, I'm not kidding. They're like word for word from start to finish. Every single element of how you approach it, what you think about, the things that you consider and don't consider. When you were talking, I was like, this is creepy as hell, but that's cool to know about you. I liked you no matter what your political view was, but I really can understand your political stance, because I think mine is about 100% on point.
I'm very much an issues-based dude. Like,
right.
I'm not.
I say the same thing.
I'm not super Republican. I'm not super liberal. I would say my tendencies are probably like socially, I'm probably more liberal. I don't give a fuck what anybody else does. Like, go to church, don't go to church. Be gay, don't be gay. Get a sex change, don't get a sex change. I don't care. Like, don't shove it down my throat, though. I don't give a shit what you do. And I don't give a shit what you do. So don't tell me about it. I don't want to know what you're doing.
Right.
Like, you keep it to yourself and just don't take my money to do whatever it is that you want to do. You go earn your own money to do whatever you want to do. Just leave me the fuck alone.
I had somebody one time tell me, well, you have to be something. And I said, what do you mean? Well, you have to be a Democrat or Republican or something. And I was like, man, that's crazy. Because like, I feel like somebody that says you have to be something is more interested in the institutional idea of politics than people. Like, because if you're going to pick something that you have to be, and then you have to follow that something through and through, then do you believe in everything they say? Like, what if you have different views on abortion versus gun laws versus that? Like, what do you mean you have to be something? Why can't you just have a freedom of thought in regards to any in particular item or issue that is going on in your life or in your society? It blows my mind that
there's a label for everything. I mean, there's a label for anything. So whether you define yourself, it's the person that's trying to force you to
they want to be able to. Yeah, they
And
want to be able to
Right.
fucking do something.
That's okay. My client just texted me. I'm at the dentist. Thanks for the information.
Yeah, it's perfect. Perfect. But I do, yeah, Chad, to your point, like there's a label for everything. And I do think I don't, this is where I'm conflicted in, and then we got to hit a commercial break, but I'm a little conflicted in that, like, I don't want people like that are extremists. And yeah, he might just be a keyboard warrior, but there's all these like super extreme ass crazy people. And that's like all the messaging we get, because the ones that are rationally thinking and using common sense to break down different issues, we tend not to be the loud voices, right? We just kind of like roll with it and we say, leave me alone. But at the same time, like if the only voices that we let happen are dudes like that, that's a fucking communist. Like he's the one that's going to draw the attention. And he's like, and so part of me is like, I don't want to not participate, because then that's what we're going to end up being, right? If the good rational people don't stand up for rational thought, that's what happens. It's somebody that's
I
like,
have
no,
to go after commercial.
big
I
government's
have to
great.
go after. Yeah.
Okay, let's hit a commercial break. We'll be right back with. Wait, I got to play music to hit a commercial break, because this is a radio show. That's how we do it. Commercial break. We'll be back with a little more home service happy hour right here on Turfs Up Radio with some more social media ranting. Let's do it.
True Fuel is a high-octane fuel precision engineered for your 2- and 4-cycle equipment. They use the most advanced synthetic lubricants and stabilizers in an ethanol-free fuel, improving performance, protecting your equipment, and saving you time. That means easier startups, smoother idling, and quicker trigger response, plus extended life for all of your equipment. True Fuel is ready to use and easy to store, helping your operations be more efficient and reducing maintenance costs. We at Turfs Up use True Fuel because we know it works and we know it's the best option. Check out TrueFuel50.com to learn more. That's TRUFUEL50.com.
You're listening to Turfs Up Radio, the only radio station of its kind dedicated to the green industry. Now you can even ask Alexa to tune you in when you're home.
Are outdated spreadsheets and whiteboard scheduling costing you jobs? Or is a lack of consistency between crews causing your bids to differ from job to job? Or worse, delaying critical invoices and payments? Crew Control offers all-in-one business management solutions fit for every trade. From bidding and scheduling to invoicing and integrating payments, Crew Control provides real-time visibility into your crew's efficiency, whether you're in the field, in the office, or even on vacation. Manage your crews more effectively and improve business performance with Crew Control. Start your free trial today at crewcontrol.com.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world, here's to all the women in the green industry. Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
That was some pretty seamless show hosting there. Getting that music flowing right after a commercial break. You just can't teach that. Bless you. That was seamless right there. What's up, home service homies? Welcome back to Home Service Happy Hour right here on Turfs Up Radio. I'm the Dan of the show. I didn't know what I was going to say. It didn't come out right at all. I'm Dan Plata, Home Service CFO. What's up? We got Corey Hillary from the WA group. Is it the WA group or is it the WA group?
It's the WA group.
Yeah, I know. I'll just be a smart ass.
I like WA though.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I just came up with it right on the fly. We got Chad Murray in the house. We got Darren Gruner jumping in. What's up, DG?
Not much. Just thought I'd look at you for a couple minutes.
That's good. That's nice of you. Why? What? Why?
I don't know. You're a handsome guy. You're handsome.
Weird. You're almost as full of shit as that guy I got into it with on social media.
I do have two questions for you. I don't know. I hadn't been listening because the phone has been ringing nonstop. So I apologize for that. I'll have to go back and listen to the podcast.
It's a good one.
But I do have two questions. I had one question coming in, and since you did something, I have a second question. First of all,
I'm surprised you jumped in here instead of just calling into the phone line 952-373-1775.
I don't know. Sitting at my desk. Plus, I wanted to see everybody and tell them thanks for jumping on the Turfs Up.
I was just trying to give a plug to my phone line quick. So,
real quick, and I'll let you guys chat. But how did you play the music? Last time the music wasn't playing through. What'd you do differently? Because Adam was just having the same problem. I was just on his show. He was having the same problem.
Darren, I don't know how any of this stuff works. I don't like if it wasn't playing for you last time, it wasn't playing for anybody. I thought it was playing last time.
So
No,
it's
well-
really going to be that easy to start my own radio channel
Yep.
because nobody knows what the fuck they're doing.
Exactly.
So I just start one and we can do it. Is that it?
That's all you need. Just say, hey Darren, I want to show on Turfs Up Radio, and then you need a little Zoom or Roadcaster, and you're
Hey
good.
Darren, I want a radio. I want a show on here. For
Hey.
real. We'll talk later.
Your industry, your station, baby. You can do whatever thing you want. I don't care. I don't
Awesome.
care. I do have a real question. I mean, that is a question, but I guess I'm not going to get the answer to that. Maybe you'll answer this one, be 50-50. Today everybody's into this virtual assistant thing, right? So I got hooked up with a virtual assistant through Courageous Mind, whatever, Angela Schroeder.
Unique genius.
Unique genius, right? Okay, right. I don't even know. All I know is I got so hooked up, and she's great, and she's helpful already. I mean, there's some, you got to work out some kinks and stuff like that to get her to, to make it work for me. So I'm excited. But she said something about she has to make some phone calls for me. So she said I need to get a dialer. I don't know what the hell a dialer. I know what a dialer is, really, but I don't know what a dialer is. But I hold on a second before you answer. So I did a little bit of research and Ring Central, Zoom. There's a lot of these companies that offer that.
Yep.
But I found Nextiva is a company called Nextiva seems to be on the top of the list, and they're not that expensive. I think they offer unlimited tech. Is that what I need? I don't know. And do I need 2 users? Do I need 1 user? What do I need?
I have used Ring Central in our businesses. We use Nextiva right now in one of our businesses, and my phone number for this radio show is on Google Voice, and I think we're going to drop Nextiva and go to Google Voice because Nextiva is costing us like $350 a month right now, and Google Voice is a heck of a lot cheaper. Google's just in a position they like get into these spaces and then start building out their capabilities. I would start with Google Voice. It'd be way more cost effective. If it can't do everything you need, maybe then you got to step up to like Nextiva, which will have more like, phone tree options. Hey, thanks for calling. Press 1 for this. 3
That's
for
what
that.
they have.
Yep.
And it's only $66 with tax. $66 a month for 2 people, for me and her.
I think you'll spend like $10 to $20 a month with Google Voice and have pretty much the same capabilities. I check it out.
So just real quick. So this is what I want her to do. Not a lot, right? I wanted it to work, but I wanted to do this. I wanted to answer the phones. And then when she's not working, I want the phones to be forwarded to me.
Yep.
Right. And if she answers the phone, she could transfer the call to me.
Yep.
And if and what else was there? And then the auto attendant, hey, you've reached Totalscape Design. Press 1 for this person. Press 1. Will Google Voice do that too?
I don't know. I haven't messed with it that much yet. I would think so. That's.
But just go to how do you get hooked up with Google Voice? I thought I have a Google Voice.
I don't know. I would go to Google and I would Google Voice.
Okay,
and that's how I would find it.
There you go. I got 25% of the answer then. Thank you.
Check it out. Nextiva, we like Nextiva. Don't get me wrong. I like Nextiva more than Ring Central. It's expensive, and we haven't found that we use all the capabilities of it. So that's why we're going to check out Google Voice.
Okay. Maybe I'll just do the same thing. I'll follow the path, and when you get good at Google Voice, you'll tell me, hey, Darren, get off with Nextiva.
Hey, but I don't, keep in mind, I don't use it. Like, I have one phone line on it. It's cost me $10 a month for the phone line for this show. The business we're using it for is our window cleaning business, where it's way more complicated. And I never show up there, so I won't be able to tell you what the hell is going on. I'll just know if we switch to something else.
All right, no more questions. Could you do me a favor and reintroduce your guests so I know who they are and your listeners know who they are? Because I like
Corey Hillary, WA Group. He's the insurance guru. Chad Murray. Chad, what's your coaching?
Outside the business box coaching. That's
outside the business box coaching.
Nice.
He's the chimney sweep pro. And he's got his coaching business. Darren Gruner, that's you. So you already know that. Philadelphia Eagles fan extraordinaire.
Yeah,
I want to get Darren. We were ranting about social media. I told my story of this numbskull that sucked me into a stupid political argument. And so that kind of like ruined my day. He won. He accomplished his mission of it kept me up at night and like ruined my day. Made me cranky when my Packers went on and beat the Chiefs, and I was still like stewing about that guy. Corey, you had an interaction, just like perfect timing for this. So like hit us with that. And like I said, there's no way we're gonna I have a list here of like legit, like a page and a half full of love and hate things about social media. We might not get to it today. I'd be surprised if we get to it today. Corey, hit us with what you got.
Well, I'll actually keep mine short and sweet. We don't need to get into the details, but it actually pertains to what you were just talking about in regards to sometimes you feel like you're the one responsible to step up, right? And and really that's what happened. So this is a long story as short as I can make it. It's an HOA issue in our neighborhood. The president, vice president moved out of the neighborhood. We got a new president.
Politics.
Right. And so they came in, and it's been in a little bit of a disarray. Well, a gentleman moved in. He didn't even know there was an association. The realtor didn't do their job, right? And so he parked his ice house, built a platform, parked his ice house fishing module in the front of his house, and we're not allowed to do that in our association. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So they're giving him grief. He's trying to argue that the association isn't real because he didn't know about it, and he's bantering at these people. I mean, he's really hitting them hard, Dan. Like in front of everybody on our Facebook community page. And then now they called for this. He called for a special vote to reelect officials for the deal, which he's allowed to do apparently. Yeah. And then he starts quoting bylaws. Like, I only got a 4-day notice instead of a 5-day notice of when the meeting occurred. And now I shouldn't have to pay my dues. It's this big thing, right? Here's my point. I listened to it for months. I saw it, didn't say a word. I was like, I don't give a shit. Like, whatever. And his house is tucked back in the corner. I don't really care about him. And we have other issues in the neighborhood.
And you're like, who gives a shit about the dude's fish house? Like,
right. And there's other people in the neighborhood that like aren't abiding by rules and they're not doing anything to them. So I just kind of looked at it like the HOA doesn't really matter.
Did you have to approve when I came and caulked your garage door trim?
No, nobody touches me. But I mean,
you would think like somebody changing the facial appearance of your house, you would need to get that approved.
Yeah, well, I mean, once it was all said and done, it looked the same as it did before, but better, right? Like when you make improvements and it looks better, that's okay.
Out good. I never did follow up with you.
All right, it turned out fantastic. It's awesome. But nevertheless, before I get off my track here, so again, this meeting is tonight at 6:30. This vote for the HOA, and last night this guy just went off. I mean, he was beating up the president, the vice, and these people have only been professional back to him. By the way, they don't get paid for this. This is voluntary, right? Like they're just trying to help and keep people's home values high and this and that. And I get where the guy, if you didn't know there was association, I understand his side too. But he got to a point where he was berating and bullying these people so bad that I was like, I can't not do it. And so I just get involved and I start saying, he's like, I didn't have a 5-day notice and per this legal And I was like, well, you're wrong because of this. And then he said something else. You're wrong because of this. And I kind of started calling him out and tried to take some of that on me because I was so fed up. And this guy's been going for 3 months. I hadn't said a word. But last night I just kind of was like, no, and I didn't snap. I didn't get mad, but like I kind of put him in his place, right? So my wife at the end of it goes, I saw you got into it on Facebook. And I was like, well, wasn't I respectful? She goes, well, you were, but you always stay out of that stuff. And I was like, I know, but I can't help it when I feel like no one else is going to stand up to someone being irresponsible or stupid or ignorant or a bully. Yeah. Like that's the one time I can't not do it. If I got a bunch of hotheads arguing about who the GOAT of, basketball is, it's Michael Jordan, by the way, but whoever the GOAT is, Michael, I'm not going to get involved. Like, it's not my thing, but like, this was somebody bullying someone else who wasn't, or couldn't, or didn't want to stand up for themselves. And it just goes back to what you were saying before we went to commercial break, which is like, I didn't want to get involved. I still don't want to get involved. I'm going tonight to vote. Now I've got people sending me messages like, hey, you should think about being on the board. And I was like, not in a million fucking years would I do this. You people are all off your shit rocker. But at the end of the day, it created all of this. And there's just message after message after message. And people are liking messages and not liking messages. You know what I realized after it was all said and done? Everybody, there's a couple people that back this guy and they just want to do whatever the hell they want to do and don't want to be governed by an HOA. Then you got all your old school cronies, or like my wife and I, who want some people to be held accountable because our place looks pristine, right? And that's what we care about. That's why we joined a place that had a homeowners association. So there was some rules and regulations to help keep things in line. And the one thing I realized is after all this, all the people that thought what he thought when we went into this conversation still feel that way. All the people that thought what they thought after this conversation still feel that. Nobody had their fucking mind
probably
changed.
More strongly. Yeah, it just divides more.
All we did was waste a bunch of fucking time.
Really good point.
I'm not going to change a moron's mentality, and he's surely not going to change my mentality. And so it's kind of like,
you're the moron to him.
What was it all for?
You're the moron to him. You're the moron to him.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
That's it. That's exactly what's happening with this country right now. Same thing.
Yep.
You're not going to change anybody. You're never going to prove to me that I'm an idiot or an asshole.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And,
You're
and
right.
That's the same thing I told that son of a bitch on social media, which is I was like, we're not like, you're just driving me farther from what you want me to believe.
Yeah.
Like the more propaganda, bullshit, news article, graphs that you send me that are like, whoever made them obviously has an agenda. And all I told you that I wanted was to be left alone. Right. Like all I expressed was that I am confident I can create more value than the government. I'm not trying to say we don't need a government. I'm just trying to say I don't think they need more of my money because I think I can do more good with it than they can. And now you're trying to teach me that communism is the way. Like,
well,
and
it
doing me a favor, right? It's like, get the fuck out of here.
It brings up a bunch of separate issues too. Like, why are we the most litigious society in the world? Why? Well, because think about this. Darren hit it exactly on the head. They're not going to change my mind. I'm not going to change their mind. So at the end of the day, there are bylaws. This is a legal entity and there are rules. And the rules say, when you buy a property, whether you know there's association or not, you're a part of the association. You must abide by the rules.
This guy lived under a rock, and he's never heard of associations ever before. When you move into a new development, you got to that's something you need to ask. His issue is
with his realtor agent.
Exactly. But here's my point. You guys are all right. You're not knocking on the head. Here's my point. He's not going to change mine, and I'm not going to change his. But you know what is going to happen? Because he's doing this the way he is, that guy's going to have to move his fish house. And do you know how I know why? Because laws say he has to. So while I'm with Dan, that in my opinion, if he would have addressed this in a different way, you know what I would have said if I had to make a vote on it as a member of the association? I would have said his house is tucked away. The guy was in an unfortunate situation because he had a moron realtor. I don't think it impacts anybody as long as his direct neighbors don't have a problem with it. I think we should vote to let him keep it. Now, I'm kind of like, yeah, no, I mean, the law's on my side. Go hire an attorney. And that's fucked up. We should not have to do that with every little thing that somebody disagrees about in our society. And that's the goddamn problem with all of it.
Yeah, he took way too hard of a line because if he wasn't behind a keyboard and you were all in person having that conversation the first time, it would have been so different. Right.
Oh, and check this out. I was by far the meanest person to him with my passive aggressive comments and kind of like disagreeing with him because everybody else has been like, well, okay, we'll get back to you. And I was the one that stood up to him. The last message to me last night in front of everybody was, Corey, I appreciate your stance on all this. And maybe we could have a conversation tomorrow and we could get on the board together and make some real change. And I was like, see, that's how I know you're full of shit, because anytime you had a chance to bully somebody, you just kept bullying them. The second someone stood up to you, you respected them. Like, man, I don't like it.
The minute somebody called you bullshit.
Right. And they're going to be your friend or your advocate because you see them as strong, but you can beat up on the weak. I don't like that. It bothers me.
All right. Can we shift to me now?
No, we can't.
Yes, Chad.
We can shift to you after this commercial break because we got people that need to pay our bills around here.
All right.
Let's take a quick commercial break, guys. We'll be back with some more ranting right here on Home Service.
Good shit, man. I like it. Good shit.
It brings you right back to the talking trash days, doesn't it?
Here you go. I might just dupe it and put it on there.
Hell yeah. All right, we'll be right back, guys. Don't go nowhere.
Creating art from darkness. For over 20 years, Cast Lighting has designed and manufactured the world's most durable, energy efficient, and technically advanced landscape lighting products available at astonishingly affordable prices. Cast offers an all-encompassing line of products with everything you need to get the job done. Cast Landscape, their most durable product, is best-in-class, low-voltage landscape lighting made of solid bronze with integrated and drop-in LED technology. These fixtures are built to endure the most demanding environments. Source Lighting, a new division by Cast, is your source for professional grand landscape lighting made of durable brass, offering both integrated and drop-in LED technology, and backed by Cast, the world's most durable outdoor lighting. Cast Lighting gives you innovative, state-of-the-art, old-world craftsmanship with tomorrow's technology. Visit their website at cast-lighting.com today. That's cast-lighting.com.
From the East Coast to the West Coast and around the world, no one rocks like Turfs Up Radio. Turfs Up Radio, your industry, your station.
Crest is leading the transition from gas-powered lawn equipment for professional operations with the introduction of the industry's first truly game-changing innovation in battery-powered OPE. With the Crest 8-minute cyber system, professional landscapers can now replace their messy gas-powered equipment without sacrificing performance, power, or runtime. The 8-minute cyber system allows for Crest-made 60-volt batteries to fully charge in 8 minutes or less, just enough time for a water break. Complemented by a full line of equipment benchmarked against gas-powered products, landscapers can finally take charge of their business and make the switch to battery. For more information, visit Crest.com. Visit Crest.com. Having issues with your maintenance schedule? Want better routing and ability to track your vehicles when they leave the shop? Do you want to reduce your liability exposure with your vehicles that are moving billboards on the road? GPS Fleet Consulting uses cloud-based dashcam monitoring and can easily track your vehicle maintenance using real odometer readings. GPS Fleet Consulting can also assist you with live phone support and email support with guaranteed same-day responses. Yes, same-day responses. Stop wondering where your trucks are and start managing your fleet with GPS Fleet Management Systems. For more information, visit gpsfleetconsulting.com. That's gpsfleetconsulting.com.
I'm okay. Darren, we gotta make that commercial block a little shorter. That commercial block needs to be a little shorter, I think. Oh, now he's put his headphones on. We need Russ to make that commercial block a little shorter. Gets to be a long one. We got stuff to rant about here. Let's
listen. You don't have to run it like that. By the way, I don't run my commercial. I don't do blocks,
dude.
I don't do blocks. I do. Listen,
dude, it's all I know, man. He makes it easy for me. He sends a block. I click a button. That's all I need to think about.
Yeah, but listen. What you do is you play one. It's 30 seconds. You do something. Please let me take a quick break. I'll be right back. 30 seconds, and boom. And then later on, you do the same thing. You take a couple breaks during the day. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. I'd rather hear you anyway.
I would need to have all the updated commercials, and I just had Russ just send me a block. But I'm with you. I like it in small doses better.
Wayne does it like that too. It's just small. Yeah, that's too long. I almost fell asleep.
I'm with it. Well, you left. You got up and just left.
I went to bed.
Yeah.
I set my alarm after two minutes.
And you almost fell asleep. All right, Chad, what you got?
All right. So earlier we were talking about political affiliations and being labeled and stuff. So I just thought I'd get you out there to kind of tell you where I'm at on this.
Uh-oh.
My 2015 stance, Trump train all the way, major alt-right, all that stuff. Got Trump in. I was changing minds and kicking ass and all the bullshit, right? No, but that's where I lived. And my entire Facebook, if you went down it and read it, it was all fuck you, Trump wins, we're winning. And I was, gaslighting everyone. I was being gaslighted constantly I lost hundreds of friends. It was ridiculous. That was my 2015 into 16 and 17, and so that was before I was a business coach. Then I became a business coach, and I started going, you know what? I don't really give a shit about any of this, really, because it's not making anyone money. It's not making anyone really any happier. There are things that has to be politically done, but really, I just need to vote and shut the fuck up. So I'm now, if you want to label me now, I'm essentially a Republican anarchist. I don't fucking think that our taxes, I think it's theft. I really think the way that they spend our money is complete theft. I am all right. I am a socially conscious Republican. I believe in climate change correctly, not for the government and enrich people. I mean, the climate fucking changes every day. It's 70 degrees here today. It'll be 50 tomorrow. Yeah, it changes all the damn time. Now, do we want a bunch of gas guzzling, seeding the clouds of pollutants? No, of course not.
Nobody wants that.
But we also don't want. We also don't want all of our coal mines and everything else shut down. So we have to be like Governor Whitner of Michigan is now saying we're going completely electrical by some stupid fucking no way they can do it year.
Yeah.
It's like okay.
She's just trying to buy some votes.
Here's my Facebook posts, my last 3 Facebook posts. One just an hour before we got on here. You'll miss every opportunity not taken. So practice failing because it's where success will live.
I dig that.
Okay.
I dig that.
If you really break that down, it's pretty deep.
That's
you will
super cool.
miss every opportunity not taken because you didn't do it. You didn't try. You missed it. You're gonna So practice failing so that you will have success. Okay. My next post is funny. It's a political post, the first one in forever, and I write warning, a political post. Now, so Biden declares he is disappointed Hamas didn't release any Americans today. And I said, I don't give a fuck who you think, and what this would have never happened on Trump 24 is what I put. That's the first one forever. My next one, now this is where I'll stop, is a picture of my dog in a comatose mode because his bone they chews on is under the coffee table.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I have a picture of him in a frozen thing for 5 minutes, sitting there, he won't move until he gets that bone.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. So when it comes to social media, I mean, I don't do the gaslighting anymore. I don't. Matter of fact, that political post, I kind of expected some wars happening. I had 6 comments and 29 likes or loves on it, and that was it. And I was very happy that that's all it went because I almost deleted it actually, right? And so, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I've had my sales manager who went rotten on me. So I have the Chimney World. It's got almost 1,600 people in it. I own that.
I think I liked a post in Chimney World.
You did. You just liked to post today about my Chimney chat with Chimney. I have our chat with Chad on tonight.
Damn right.
And anyway, I kicked his ass out of my group, and I'm just like, and then I was getting there were people like going, where the fuck is blank this guy? And I'm just finally on chat with Chad a couple weeks ago. I just said, hey, everyone want to know, and actually someone on my show even wrote, where's whatever his name is. And I went, guys, this is Chimney World that I created, Chad Murray. And guess what? That guy's not in my world anymore. There's other Chimney. Go live there. And that was simple. And you know what? Not one fucking person has said one thing since.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck them all. Elon Musk. Fuck him. Did you see Elon Musk, what he just said here last week?
No, what did he say?
Oh my God, you guys got to Google it. So they're asking him about the people leaving X, the people because of whatever he said in Israel and all that stuff. And Elon Musk is just sitting there and goes, fuck them.
Yeah.
You know, and a little bit more to that. He says it like twice, fuck them. I mean, when you got $306 billion, who gives a shit if you lose a couple billion of advertisers? Okay, fuck them. I want to live in my world, he said.
Well, I was going to say, and I think that's the hardest part for me is like, there's so many social media posts and just like my interaction with that asshole is like, yeah, he's citing a bunch of sources that I would never look to for information. And they're a bunch of biased sources. And I'm with you, Chad. I for sure lean right. Like if you just had to put me on that spectrum and said politically, like 9 out of 10 times I would probably vote Republican or Libertarian or third party or something like that. I can't really ever see myself voting for a Democrat candidate. But I also I don't love Trump. I think he's a piece of shit. He's an asshole. I think he's the best asshole we got, frankly. Right? Like I sure as hell ain't gonna vote for Biden. I'll just say that. Like I just don't.
Well, Trump's a weird gig, man. He's such a weird gig because he is a dick. He's a total dick. I get it.
He's a total asshole. He's a total asshole.
I mean, can anyone tell me they did worse in 16 to 20? The fucking government was kicking ass.
Yeah, they actually ran a little bit like a business, which was pretty refreshing.
And you know what? I don't have to like I don't have to like the guy running the country if I don't have murderers crossing the border. There's no more. We're not in any wars. How many wars were we in with Trump? Did anyone watch him when he was on another show not long ago? And they were trying to get him, on stuff. And he goes, you know what I like to be? I like to be in no wars. We need to stop the killing. Like they're talking about Ukraine. He goes, yeah, I just get out of it. I said, why do we need to be in that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, stuff. So anyway.
Yeah. But I think what drives me nuts is like people cite a bunch of sources from biased sources and act like it's truth. and aren't objective about it and aren't saying like, hey, here's some data or here's an article or here's the thing, right? They're just like, this is the truth. And I'm just like, no, it's created by somebody with an agenda, right? Like, okay, it's okay to like go get some of this, but the best data that I have is the shit that I see around me. I don't need somebody to write me an article to tell me how the world works. I own and operate a business. I see exactly how the world works every single damn day, right? I don't need somebody to cite an article from somebody living in New York City to tell me how the world works. No offense to people living in New York City, but you might not see like all of the reality of what actually goes on in the world. So it's super goofy.
I got a reality check for you, and I just saw this. I did see this on social media today. It was just our TikTok or something I was scrolling through today when I had a little time. It's this dude, probably ex-military, sitting there, goes, has daughters. He goes, I'm sorry. I don't care what your political views are. I don't care if you're a chick with a dick. I don't care this. But if my daughter goes into a women's bathroom and I see a dude, and I don't care what he feels like he is identifying in, walks in there, I'm walking in there too. So I don't care. I mean, that's just, when we talk about socialism, hey, and he's like, I don't really care what you do in your own time and what you want your pronouns to be. I don't give a shit. If you want to be called they or you want to be called a goat, I don't give a shit. I'll call you a goat. I don't give a fuck. But you know what you're not going to do? You're not going to impede on my reality that could harm someone with me or something else. That's where we start getting into, well, you have to choose. I mean, Corey said it earlier. There's a harmful part of social media. And you got to know, and I think you even said it, Dan, when do you stick up for when it becomes harmful? Mm-hmm. And that's where you have to really start drawing a line. Corey said, I had to say something after 3 months. You finally got active on that, right? And if I was on a post, and I could care less about trans anything. I don't give a shit. And I don't care about if you want to talk about dysphoria. I'm not even there. But if I see a dude, a 6'5" guy or even a 5'3" guy, dude, walk into the girl's bathroom. I have 5 daughters. I'm sorry. I'm walking into that fucking bathroom too. Simple. That's
depends how bad I gotta pee. Depends how bad I gotta pee.
You don't have to worry about that down here in Florida. Everybody goes to the same bathroom. I'm not kidding. You go on.
Jed, I hear you loud. I hear you loud and clear, man. I mean, I'm with you because I think there's this element that like we talk about the oversensitivity, right, of society and what people want, what people think they need, and how people feel, right? And then I like the way you said it. There's like a reality. Like if it impedes on my reality, what I know to be true, this is messed up. And you could use the exact same example for like high school sports, where if you have a transgender boy or girl, right, and they're going to go play the opposite sport, so call it a boy that recognizes themselves as a woman, right, and goes and plays female sports, I'm not letting a 6'3" guy built with men's biology go, take my daughter out in a game, because it would be very, very, very dangerous, right? And so you can really apply it to almost anything they do, and it doesn't make any sense. And it's hard to separate people out from like, we get it. You have feelings. We really do. We either respect your feelings or we don't really give a shit what you feel. And either way, you should be fine with that. As long as we're not against you in any way, shape, or form, whatever it is we're talking about, that's cool, right? Like as long as you get to live your life and be free, that's what this is all about. But it can't, whatever you're talking about or doing can't impede on other people.
Yeah,
because
yep. That's where the line's got to be drawn.
Yeah, that's
shit. The sports,
right. That's messed up.
That's where the line
Don't force your reality onto mine because of what you feel, because your feelings are objective.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's happening.
And you brought up the trans argument, but it's literally an argument for all facets of life, right? Like, like opinions and talking and keyboard warriors and all the social media stuff.
Religion,
fine, have
politics,
your opinion, have
all
this.
that shit. Yeah.
Right. Like, for example, you could be a keyboard warrior and tell Dan all about that. You could teach Dan all about politics. But you know what? When you use that keyboard to bully a young girl into committing suicide, whoa, now we've committed a crime. Now you've crossed into reality and you're impacting people's lives. And so there are fine lines that people need to stand up for those things. And I think that's where we get pulled in sometimes, where you don't ever want it to get to that point where it's like, man, like I could have done something, but I don't feel like fighting on the internet for 17 hours a day.
And that's where I'm so conflicted. And I was just like, I'll delete it for now. Like, I'm just so I'm so done with it. But here we are. We're on social media. We're making a show. We're interacting with people. And so again, I have here's my list. Back to the list. I have literally this. We got this one done. People hiding behind their keyboard. The Warriors. Everything else, we still got to cover everything else on here.
Hey guys, I have to go. I'm actually 4 minutes late for my next client. So
you better get on that. That's right.
So
we got to wrap this baby
totally
up.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks for checking in, Chad. We'll be back next week with more of the same because we ain't done with this thing yet. I got the whole list to get through yet. It's incredible. The hate, the love. I also have 3 things that I put meh, like things with social media where I'm like, meh, like it's happening. It doesn't bug me. I don't love it, but it doesn't bug me. So I'm trying to be fair. I want to be. We're gonna hit all that stuff on the next show because we didn't get to it today. It's like I said, we're probably just gonna end up telling stories the whole time, and we did, which is fun. I like telling stories. So Corey, now you're obligated to come back next week. So just put that on your schedule. Darren, you too. You're back. Maybe, and then we can get Russ back in. Russ wanted to join, but he couldn't make it today. So maybe we can get Russ.
He messed up his back pretty bad today.
Seems like a radio show is the perfect place to be when you can't move around. I don't know. I'm just saying, Russ, come on, man. All right, guys. You guys know what to do. Work smarter and harder. Go earn some pride. I'm going to be back on tonight with my man Kurt Kempton from Responsibid. Since I'm in my 1 month of not drinking, this is going to be great because Kurt doesn't drink. We're having milkshakes tonight. So I got to go to the store and get me some ice cream. We're having milkshakes tonight. We're talking to Kurt Kempton from Responsibid. Super good dude. Super funny dude. Going to have a blast chatting with him and catching up. We'll see you back here tonight and or next week on Home Service Happy Hour. Peace.
See you, buddy.